Hey everyone, if you want to make your own podcast but you don't know where to begin, Spotify for Podcasters makes it super easy. They've got everything in one place, it's totally free, and you can make money while doing it. Here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start doing it today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and pretty much everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also supported, and you can even conduct polls and Q&As. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, the platform is totally free. No catch, totally free. When I wanted to start my own podcast, I did not know where to begin, and I didn't think it was even possible. And Spotify for Podcasters made it happen. They made it easy, they made it quick, and I am doing something that I love. What more can I ask for? So if you're interested in starting your own show, you can do it, and I highly recommend you give this a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Everything Kratom, the podcast about anything and everything Kratom. Today I've got a few articles I wanted to look through. Thought they were interesting. They were all written in the past few weeks or the past month or so. And then tomorrow, be sure to stay tuned for that because we are going to be talking with Tristan in Texas about a number of different topics, all related to, maybe the less appealing things about Kratom, the potential for abuse, the fact that sometimes it's covered up, that people might go through withdrawal, hangovers, headaches, things like that. But then, there's always positives mixed in there as well. But that's kind of the goal of the show, to have a well-rounded podcast. So we're going to approach it from all sides. So a couple articles that I found today. Here's an opinion by someone talking about, first off, they have an article called Opioids and Cigarettes Are Both Harmful, but Opioids Have Valid Medical Uses. We mustn't apply the same harm reduction strategies to both. So it's an interesting article. I suggest you look it up. It's talking about how both are highly addictive, or they have the potential to be highly addictive. Both potentially deadly in their different ways. But, opioids have medical uses. There's a reason why they're around. And cigarettes, there's a reason why both are around, but cigarettes are not approved medically for any reason. They used to be approved medically for breathing problems and lung issues, surprisingly enough. But today it's a far different story. So this person is talking about how, rather than recognizing that some people with intractable pain benefit from opioids, we continue to reduce access to them, typically without offering affordable and effective alternatives. That's kind of the argument here, versus cigarettes readily available everywhere you go. I know that there's a lot of talk about how the opioid, epidemic is kind of fueled by, these pill mills and everything. But I thought that it was an interesting view on it, because this same person then wrote another article. And the other article says the FDA shouldn't support a ban on Kratom. And so they're talking about how, in this article, that there is an opioid epidemic that's going on, and we can't ignore that. So this person's really interesting. I'd actually like to talk to her. Before I share her name, I'll see if I can get in contact with her. But so I like this person's viewpoint on things, because on the one hand, she's saying that opioids have legitimate use, and to just be like, oh, there's an opioid epidemic, it all needs to go, that's not really taking into account or listening to people who are really going through the pain and who need opioids, and people do use them every day without
ending up, using heroin a month later. So there's different ways of viewing this, and I like that viewpoint because she sees that there's legitimate use for opioids. But then she also says, in ordinary times, there would be no question about whether a drug with opioid-like effects, like kratom, should be proven safe and effective and approved by the Food and Drug Administration before it is widely marketed. But these aren't ordinary times, and the herbal supplement kratom is not a typical drug. So, and then it's worth reading the next paragraph too as well. In fact, the issue of whether or not to ban kratom is an excellent litmus test of whether the Biden administration will actually use the philosophy of harm reduction to guide drug policy, or just spout the trendy catchphrase as window dressing to hide ongoing engagement in the war on drugs. Super interesting. Article's good. I suggest you check it out. It's in the Scientific American. Okay. And then the last one here that I was reading through is just talking about further info about Thailand taking kratom off of its illegal drug list. And it was saying that general public will be able to consume and sell kratom legally. And there's a development research study that's estimating that decriminalization is going to save the authorities about 1.69 billion baht, or about $50 million in prosecution costs, which I definitely believe. This is something interesting, which I didn't know. It says kratom, let's see. In Thailand, it is mainly used in the deep south, where Muslim workers use it for pain relief after manual labor. Is that so? I didn't realize that was a thing. Is it that in the deep south, more people in Thailand are Muslim, or is it that farm workers, or is there migrant labor that's Muslim? That's interesting. I'd love to learn about that. Topic for another time. Then it also goes into a little bit about the economy, how there's been a fall in rubber prices in Thailand recently, and that kratom might be able to kind of help as a new cash crop. So that's something that you might want to read through. Then finally, it mentions that Thai prisons are still packed, and there's a lot of long-standing drug offenses that need to be addressed. So it's not a cure for the prison system there, but it's certainly going to help take 100 or 200 people out. So just a couple of interesting articles I found today. I know it's not a snazzy episode, but as I've said before, I have to work too, unfortunately. So just thought I'd send out a couple little tidbits of information there. And again, make the plug that you should really tune in tomorrow afternoon as well and listen to my conversation with Tristan. It's going to be great. So thanks so much, everyone, and I will talk to you then.